"Pretend to be my boyfriend," the millionaire begged the mechanic. His voice trembled with a mix of desperation and fear. "My parents are coming, and if they find out I'm alone, I just can't face them." It was a chilly afternoon, the kind where the wind seems to sneak under your coat and into your very bones. Outside the garage, shiny sports cars gleamed under the weak sunlight, a testament to the wealthy life the young man led. Yet, inside, he looked smaller than life, almost vulnerable, standing in front of a man in oil-stained overalls who looked like he had never worried about millionaires or fancy parties in his entire life. Have you ever felt like you were trapped in a situation you couldn't fix, and the only person who could help was someone completely unexpected? Today's story is about that moment when kindness and courage meet, and how a simple act can change not only someone's day but their whole life. Before we dive in, if you love stories that touch your heart and remind us of the good in the world, don't forget to subscribe to Kindness Journey, like this video, and share your thoughts in the comments. Let's spread a little more kindness together. The millionaire, named Ethan, was tall, impeccably dressed, with every strand of his dark hair perfectly in place. But right now, he looked far from perfect. His usual confident smile had vanished, replaced by nervous tension. The mechanic, a kind-hearted man named Jake, was 30, with broad shoulders, short-cropped brown hair, and hands that told stories of long hours working with engines. He wiped his hands on a rag as he studied Ethan, unsure whether to laugh, shake his head, or offer help. I can't," Jake finally said, scratching the back of his neck. "You know my life and your life, it's completely different." Ethan's shoulders slumped. I know it's strange. But please, just for a few hours. My parents, they're strict, judgmental, and they'll never accept me if they see me alone. I need you." There was something in Ethan's eyes that made Jake pause. It wasn't wealth, it wasn't fear, it wasn't even pleading, it was honesty. Pure, human honesty, and suddenly, Jake found himself nodding. "Okay. I'll do it. Just don't expect me to act like I'm in some fancy movie." Ethan's relief was immediate. His face lit up with a genuine, heartfelt smile that seemed to melt the tension in the room. "Thank you. I promise I'll make it worth your while." That afternoon, the two of them prepared. Ethan explained every detail of his life, every quirk his parents might notice, every story he would tell. Jake listened, asking a few questions, but mostly observing, learning how to step into someone else's world, even for just a few hours. When Ethan's parents arrived, they were instantly suspicious. A stranger with rough hands, grease stains, and a warm, honest smile was standing next to their son. They raised eyebrows, whispered to each other, and studied Jake carefully. But instead of judgment, Jake smiled politely, introduced himself, and somehow, it worked. The evening unfolded with laughter, gentle teasing, and moments of real connection. Ethan's parents began to see not just a stranger, but a kind and genuine person. A person who didn't care about the wealth, the cars, or the status symbols. A person who cared about their son. By the end of the night, the parents were smiling, relaxed, and even teasing Ethan about his boyfriend in the garage. After the parents left, Ethan turned to Jake, eyes full of gratitude. "I don't even know how to thank you," he said. "You didn't just help me tonight, you saved me from humiliation. You showed me kindness when I needed it most." Jake shrugged, a little embarrassed. I guess I know what it's like to feel out of place. To need someone to believe in you, even for a moment." And that was the moment Ethan realized something important. Kindness isn't about money, power, or influence. It's about showing up for someone when they need it most, even if it's inconvenient, even if it's uncomfortable. Over the next few weeks, Ethan and Jake stayed in touch. Their friendship grew, built on trust, laughter, and the kind of bond that forms when one person steps up to help another in a truly selfless way. Ethan began volunteering at local charities, inspired by the humility and generosity he had seen in Jake's everyday life. Jake, in turn, discovered that his small act of kindness had ripple effects, opening doors he never expected in the world of business and philanthropy. One day, Ethan invited Jake to a charity gala. "I want everyone to meet the person who really changed my life," he said. That night, as Jake mingled with people who seemed a world apart from him, he realized that his actions had left a lasting impact, not because of recognition, but because of the honesty and integrity behind them. The story of Ethan and Jake reminds us that kindness doesn't always come with grand gestures. Sometimes, it's simply saying yes when someone asks for help, even when you don't have to. Sometimes, it's stepping into someone else's world without judgment, without expectation, just to offer a little human warmth. And the best part? Those small acts have a way of coming back around, often when you least expect them. Jake's willingness to help had given Ethan the courage to face his parents, but it had also inspired a ripple of generosity, compassion, and empathy that reached far beyond that night in the garage. So the next time someone asks for your help, even if it seems awkward, inconvenient, or outside your comfort zone, remember this story. Remember the mechanic who stepped into a millionaire's life for just a few hours, and in doing so, changed not only that person's world but his own as well. Kindness is contagious. It doesn't care about class, wealth, or status. It lives in every handshake, every smile, and every willingness to say, "I'll be there for you." And if we all chose to act with even a fraction of that courage, imagine how different the world could be. Ethan and Jake's story ended not with fame or fortune, but with something far more valuable, a connection that transcended wealth, status, and expectations. They had shown that true kindness doesn't require grand gestures, it simply requires an open heart. So today, take a moment to be kind. Help someone who needs it, even in small ways. Offer a hand, a smile, or a listening ear. You never know whose life you might change, or how you might change your own in the process. Because in the end, kindness isn't just about doing good for others. It's about discovering the good within ourselves and letting it shine, even in the most unexpected places.